February 28, 2015 to February 28, 2025. That's exactly 10 years. So we start from the beginning. This is Rabbi Ford, Josiah Ford. As you see here, Rabbi Ford was a colleague of Rabbi Matthew. Some people will say that Rabbi Ford was actually a teacher of Rabbi Matthew, but it's like a dispute, because some of the people that come from Rabbi Matthew said that Rabbi Matthew would say that he was more of a colleague than a teacher. But despite that, Rabbi Ford went to Ethiopia. This was the plan back in them days. He went to Ethiopia in the 1930s, right after the Great Depression here in America, and he actually got the Samika for Rabbi Matthew, which is the ordination to become a rabbi from Emperor Haile Selassie. So this was his congregation, Beit Avraham, which was founded in 1924. Arnold Josiah Ford, 23rd April 1877 to 16 September 1935, rabbi, black nationalist, and immigrationist, was born in Bridgetown, Barbados, the son of Edward Ford and Elizabeth Augusta Brettwaite. Arnold Ford became the musical director of the UNIA choir. Samuel Valentine was the president, and Nancy Paris its lead singer. So the UNIA was the Universal Negro, that's Marcus Garvey Improvement Association. So that was Marcus Garvey's movement. So he was the actual musical director for this actual place. He established Beit B'nai Avraham 1924. So now we get to Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew. He was born 1892 and passed away 1973. Born in St. Mary, St. Kitts in the British West Indies, the son of Joseph Matthew and Francis M. Cornelius Matthew. Commandment Keepers Ethiopian Hebrew Congregation of the Living God, Pillar and Ground of Truth, was founded in 1919. So actually, Rabbi Matthew's congregation was founded before Rabbi Ford's congregation. But like I said, they moved from several places, and then in the 1960s, they got the actual place, the actual big building that we know about in Harlem. He was always in Harlem. From him came a lot of great rabbis, of the time, and he created a school and developed all these rabbis. But for the sake of time, I can't go through all of that. I just got to go through our lineage so that we could get to where we're at right now. So right here, very important rabbi that came out of Rabbi Matthew's congregation. He was known as Rabbi Wilkins, also Rabbi Yirmiyahu Yisrael, or Rabbi Yisrael as he was known at the end. This gentleman right here, this rabbi, his mother, I believe his family was under Rabbi Matthew. He grew up as a young man under Rabbi Matthew and studied under Rabbi Matthew and became a rabbi. Founder of Congregation B'nai Adat, Kobe Yisrael, on May 1st, 1954. He was also co-founder of a congregation by the name of Kohol Yisrael. Prior to B'nai Adat, there was a rift there. He broke away and founded Congregation B'nai Adat Kobe Yisrael. And why is he important? Because he is the teacher of our beloved Cohen Levi ben Levi. Cohen Levi was a co-founder of Congregation Hashaba Yisrael, founded in 1965. He co-founded it with Mori Yosef, and I believe it was some other people that were part of that whole movement. But he was the person who galvanized a lot of Israelites in terms of culture and, he broke away from Rabbi Yirmiyahu because, a brief history, Rabbi Yirmiyahu broke away from he began to feel like he didn't want to, what Israelites or the black, quote unquote, black Jewish congregations were doing a lot. They were taking Christian songs, right, and singing them in the congregations. So he wanted to break away from all of that. He wanted to break away from singing even like some of the Jewish songs or in the tradition that they were singing it. So this was what caused the rift from him leaving from congregation called Hall, Yisrael, and I believe it was him and Rabbi McLeod that started that. So that kind of caused the rift. He didn't want that. So this is where Cohen Lewi plays an important role, because when he came to congregation Beni Hadad, he was a cantor. And if you know Cohen Lewi, he also wrote songs. He wrote so many of the songs that we sing, like Zed HaShabbat, a lot of What's My Name. So he was a cantor, right? So being a cantor, you come up and you sing. So if he have a new song, he's going to sing it, and that was important because Rabbi Yisrael wanted to move away from the singing of the kind of like church type of songs and that traditional type of way. So Cohen Lewi came along. Cohen Lewi also, being that his teacher seemed like he was a fiery type of person, it seemed like he passed that down to his students. Cohen Lewi at this point said, I no longer want to be into the quote unquote Jewish traditional type of service. We need to create our own, because this is our culture. We're not black Jews, we're Israelites. And so he created Congregation Hashabah Yisrael, founded in 1965 with Mori Yosef, who later created Kol Sharit up in the Bronx. And Cohen Lewi began his journey, I believe, in Brooklyn, Gates Avenue, and then from there he went to Belmont, which a lot of people know. A lot of where the history comes from is from Belmont Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. So now we get to this guy right here. This is, and just bear with me because this is the history of Congregation Beit DCB, because we don't only come from the branch of Cohen Lewi and Hashabah Yisrael, but we also come from the branch of Ben Azakin. Most of us, like myself, Chief Naftali, a lot of us, our main influence is that of Ben Azakin, because most of our teachers were from Ben Azakin. So Nasi Yaakov was a co-founder of Congregation Ben Azakin, but he was the one who ended up with the congregation, at the end. The other co-founders kind of left. He was the one who stood. So this is Nasi Yaakov, founder of Congregation Ben Azakin. He came from Cincinnati, Ohio. Nobody knows who his teacher was. Nobody ever found out who his teacher was. But in the 1940s, 1950, he came to a congregation by the name of Tabernacle of Yisrael, I believe was his name. This is the congregation where some of you know Princess Sarita, where her family kind of established. And if you see like pictures of Nasi Yaakov when he was younger, he used to wear talis and stuff like that. But he also broke away from that tradition. The 60s in America was more of a revolutionary time for black people and for Israelites. They wanted to move away from the suit and ties and things of that nature. So Nasi Yaakov, along with Nabi Raphael, who's one of the co-founders of actual Ben Azakin, they went out into the streets and began to teach people. He was supposed to go out, get the people, and bring them into the congregation, which was located where 297 Saratoga is right now. That used to be Temple Beit Shalom. Before it was Shema Yisrael, it was Temple Beit Shalom, right? So it was supposed to be, he was the young guy, he was supposed to go out, grab the people, but at some point something happened. They took different routes, but they did begin together. As you see here, Ben Azakin, Sons of the Ancient, was chartered in the late 1950s by Prince Abner, Nabi Raphael Tate, Prince Yaakov, and Chief Counsel Daniel. The membership included Prince Reuben, Prince Enoch, Caleb, and Prince Dardar, Anirus, his brother, and their wives, Keturah, Shakora, all who later became founders and teachers of other Israelite congregations. So these are some of the founders of Ben Azakin. But like I said, Prince Yaakov later, 1969, he went to Chicago and he founded Ben Azakin too. That's a whole nother history that I don't want to get into. So right here, we got Chief Amos Yehuda. Some of us might know him. And Chief of Chief Naphtali. Naphtali, teachers of Ben Azakin Yakad in the early 1990s. So Chief Amos is a student of Nasi Yaakov, right? He's a student of Nasi Yaakov. Chief of Chiefs is also a student of Nasi Yaakov. So we had a congregation on St. John's in Nostrand that we called Ben Azakin Yakad, and these were some of the teachers. Chief Uzziel Lewi, a.k.a. Doc, or Chief Rofe, another one of our teachers of Ben Azakin Yakad in the 1990s, another student of Nasi Yaakov from Ben Azakin. So these were our main teachers that we heard growing up. So now we get to Prince Zippor. He was also a teacher at Ben Azakin Yakad, but going in from Ben Azakin Yakad, December of 1994, as you see, he's standing there. That's the actual front of Shema Yisrael, 297 Saratoga, standing with Nasik Surishadai. Chief Prince Zippor Zavulun was also one of the teachers of Ben Azakin Yakad. On December 5th, 1994, the doors of Congregation Shema Yisrael Incorporated were opened. Shema Yisrael was co-founded by Chief Prince Zippor Zavulun and Prince Yediel Ben Yissaskar. So, and we get to hear Chief Prince Yediel Yissaskar, spiritual leader and president of Congregation Beit Da'at Chakma Ubina. So, just a brief history, and as you see here, just some pictures of the family. Our beloved Ima Sarah, may the Most High God bless her memory. Surrounded by her family, we see the Danite family. We see our sister Nawa and my wife standing there. Just try to capture kind of everybody in the Congress. We see Mordecai and his children. We got a bunch of people out there. We just, obviously, we couldn't put everybody in the slideshow, but we'll do another slideshow where we'll show everybody. So that's a brief history of where we come from, how this congregation was founded, the people that are part of this congregation. And like I said, 10 years, it's a long time, but it's not a long time in the annals of history. What are we going to do the next 5, the next 2, the next 10? It's what's important and how we move forward. We thank the Most High God that we're able to talk about 10 years. Because some people, I've seen congregations try to go up and they come right back down, right? But the Most High God has blessed us in order to continue and to have this congregation survive for so long. So I thank the Creator of heaven and earth for this time, and I pray that the Most High God will bless us all. So where's the rabbi so he could do the...